What's up with you? For today's video, with a full GLIGAR evolution team. We got GLIGAR and Gliscor. The abilities both of these Pokemon have are Immunity, Hypercutter, Sand Veil, and Poison Heal. So, a lot of good abilities when you have a look at it, like immunity to the poison, you've got Hypercutter to stop any attack drops, you've got Sand Veil to use in the sand for evasion, and you've got Poison Heal to heal 1/8 of the maximum health per turn. So some very, very good abilities. I'll be using 2 GLIGAR and 2 Gliscor to have a team of 4. I've got 3 battles today with the GLIGAR evolution team. We're going to be doing these battles on Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl because they only exist in this game currently at the moment. First Pokemon we got here, we got a Breloom. So this is my critting GLIGAR. I've got a Substitute, Sword Dance, Night Slash, and Cross Poison set. I will say, I always thought that GLIGAR could be like a flying or poison or grounded poison, because it definitely looks like a poison type Pokemon to me. What do you think? So this set is a immunity ability, a Lancet Berry with a combination of the Night Slash and Cross Poison for getting that 100% crit chance. Lancet Berry granting 2 stages like Focus Energy. The EV Spreader's Max Attack and Max Speed, Jolly Nature. Now, is there anyone out there's favorite Pokemon is GLIGAR or Gliscor? Let me know. I really like GLIGAR and Gliscor. I've always really liked their design, the moves they learn, and their abilities too. They're very, very good Pokemon. GLIGAR is super bulky and very, very good. Back in Generation 7 and stuff like that. And yeah, Gliscor is very, very good as well. Can be bulky, can be a physical sweeper, lots of sort of stuff like that. So Breloom is going to be going down to a Cross Poison there. I did have a nice little advantage there. It gets it. And the next Pokemon to come out here is Mismagius. And this is a battle against Natra as well. I think that's how what the username is. And Mismagius is definitely going to feint here to a Night Slash. That'll easily be enough to take it out. Now, GLIGAR and Gliscor actually have very, very good base speed, so quite surprising. And unfortunately on that Night Slash, I didn't get a critical hit, which really sucks. So maybe in hindsight, I could have gone for Substitute there. I thought I would actually do a lot more damage to Mismagius than that. And turns out the Mismagius actually got a critical hit instead of me, and it didn't have a crit move. So it always happens, people. So that's the end of my GLIGAR, but we're going to bring in Gliscor here. I always like the bat wings Gliscor has as well. So on Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, Gliscor gets a very narrow special move pool. It's really, really bad. So this is a Toxicor Poison Heal set. Sludge Bomb, Mud Slap. Mud Slap is its best special ground move that it gets on here. Normally it gets like Earth Power, but on this game it doesn't, which is a fail. Substitute and a Dank Pulse. I've got the EVs as Max Special Attack, Modest Nature. Really needed it, and of course Max Speed too. In comes a Slaking here. I tried to actually use Mud Slap here, and this is a Rock Tomb Slaking, so I'm not sure what sort of strategy they're going for here with Rock Tomb. Slaking is a fairly fast Pokemon, which is kind of surprising because it's just like a big lazy gorilla, I guess. So we're going to go for Mud Slap again. So this set was based around getting the opponent like a couple of actually drops, getting that Substitute up, and getting the Poison Heal to work. And then you could try and flinch from the Dark Pulse at the same time. If the Pokemon is poisoned, that would be extra damage. So it's quite a fun set, but it takes a little bit of I guess it takes a little bit of luck to actually get this to work. Poison Heal is a very, very good ability as well. So GLIGAR with Poison Heal was very, very annoying to actually verse. The only real way to take this Pokemon out convincingly is to hit them with a very powerful special move, especially an Ice move. Ice move absolutely destroys them with the ground and flying. But I still stand that GLIGAR and Gliscor should be a poison type Pokemon. I don't know, flying and poison or ground and poison. What would you, if I don't know, I definitely feel they could be poison Pokemon. So that's going to be the end of the Slack in there. I've got no idea what sort of strategy they were going for there. They were trying to drop speed. I don't know. It's difficult to use with Truants as well. Next Pokemon is going to be Swellows. So Swellow is their last Pokemon. This is a 4v4 battle too. So my best move to use here is going to be Sludge Bomb. The Swellow's going to go for a Brave Bird here. Brave Bird doesn't do too much damage. I mean, Gliscor has a very good defensive stat too. It's an extremely good Pokemon. I want to say, if this is in Gen 9, I don't believe if it's been revealed. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's been actually revealed. I can't really remember. if it gets rid of its 4 times weakness, this Pokemon is going to be even better, like with a Tetralize and stuff like that. So, interesting sort of thing to think about there, because it's a very good Pokemon. Like, if you've got a very good Pokemon with a 4 times weakness, that's going to be quite strong to me with that new mechanic. So Gliscor is going to be fighting there to the Swellow, and it was quite funny because the Swellow actually had Facade, so the poison helped that because it doubled the base power of Facade. Next Pokemon is going to be Glioguard. This is a Guillotine Sandstorm Roost Sand Tomb. This is pure scum, and it's very, very good with Everlight, but I don't have Everlight in this game, so I just did max health and I did max special defense, but I also gave it impish nature at the same time. The ability was Sand Veil, which works really, really nicely with Sandstorm at the same time. And, you know, you can trap them with Sand Tomb, get some damage to that, and go for Guillotine in the meantime, too. So, quite a fun set. This thing was like it was pretty good with immunity, too, because quite a lot of the time with Gligar, it's very bulky, and if you don't have a special attacking Pokemon or something to deal a lot of damage to it, it was good to get around it with Poison or Toxic. But with immunity, you can't actually do that. So, you know, quite a good ability to have right there. So, Swellow's going to hit me very, very hard there with a Facade. I was like, okay, well, I don't think Gligar's going to be able to get around this because the next one will fate me. We got the Swellow going for another Roost here. So, I was like, I just went for Guillotine because I couldn't do any moves to the Swellow at all. My last Pokemon was, of course, Gligar as well. So, I knew that would get outspeed with Facade and get hit like really, really hard. But my last Guillotine actually lands on the Swellow before it could try and sweep the rest of my team too. And that is the end of the first battle there. A nice little Guillotine KO. And let's get on to battle number 2 here. This is a battle against Super Bowser, and we got a Gligar lead. So it's like, okay, all right, fair enough. It's a Gligar versus Gligar battle. So it's a shiny versus a normal one too. Actually, the Gligar's colors actually changed. I think it was in Gen 4. Like it was actually kind of purple. I thought it was a shiny, but it actually wasn't. But I believe it was actually purple, and then it sort of changed color and stuff like that. I'm sure someone will remember that. But anyway, back to the battle here. We got a Gligar using Guillotine on my Gligar. I was like, man, come on. First turn. So that's the end of my Gligar. It was over before it began there. I tried to get a Sword Dance of Sweep, but it never happened. So going into my Gliscor now, I was like, all right, I know how to get rid of this thing. I've got a good strategy to get around this little Gligar here. Now, Guillotine, well, one-hit KO moves really don't like, you know, versing Substitute, right? Because I'll miss a lot of the time, and when they do land, you've got to Substitute the block, so you can always set it up again. Now, we've got the sub up there to try and get the dub, and Guillotine is going to miss, which is very, very good. So now I've got the Poison Heal activated, which is great, and now I can actually go for Dark Pulse here. Now, Gligar's special defense isn't going to be too good, so I can, you know, I've got a chance of maybe flinching this and doing some good damage too. I don't know what other moves this opposing, you know, Gliscor, Gligar, actually has. Oh my goodness, I was like getting confused with their names. They're very similar, you have to actually admit, they're Gliscor and Gligar. So I got some good damage there on the Gligar with Dank Pulse here. It's going to be a 3-hit KO. I always loved shiny Gligar as well. Looks very nice, that nice. It's almost like a sky blue color. So I got another flinch there, or a flinch on the Dark Pulse, and what I did is actually healed up pretty much all of my health versus this Gligar. So I managed to actually get around it. It was kind of unlucky getting hit by that Guillotine the very, very first turn. Like, my poor guy Gligar couldn't do anything. So that's going to be the end of the first Pokemon, which is the Gligar. So bye-bye. I don't want to see any of those one-hit KO moves again. So Gliscor is now back to full health there. I mean, it only had to heal one, but I guess being full is better than being almost full. So next Pokemon is going to be Bibarel. This is also a 4v4 battle too. So like, all right, well, this obviously has some sort of water-type move. I was like, I wonder if it's got simple. First thing I tried to see how much damage Sludge Bomb did, and it did a pretty good amount of damage. The move that Bibarel is going to use is Surf. So Bibarel's special attack, well, it's not the greatest in the world. I knew that it would break my sub, but I knew that I could probably live, you know, like 2 of them at least right there. So now my Gligar has been revealed. There's no point going for a sub again because it's going to get broken by Bibarel. I can actually go for a Mud Slap. So I was like, if I go for Mud Slap, and this has a simple ability, that'll actually drop its accuracy by 2 stages. But the problem is, it didn't have simple. I was like, oh, that really, really sucks. So I tried to use the opponent's ability against it, but you know, it had another ability, so that wasn't to be the case, which sucks. I was like, I thought I was really onto something there. I could get the, I could get those Mud Slaps going, and then put my sub up and then I could heal, like, a lot of my health back there and still have this Gligar maybe hidden behind a sub for the next Pokemon or two. You know, I was trying to get that Gligar sweep. So go for another Dank Pulse here on the Bibarel. Almost take it out. Bibarel is going to be able to get a Surf off against Gligar, which is unfortunate. But I do live, which is excellent. So I can finish this off the next turn. So Gligar is... Gliscor, man, I'm getting these mixed up today, is doing very, very well. I have to admit, they are pretty similar. I mean, they are, right? I don't know. You could have like a baby. Could you have a baby Pokemon in this evolution line? You'd have, obviously, Gligar would be the middle one, and Gliscor being the last one. And you could have like a tiny little, maybe it could be like a Scorpion on the ground, and then it, you know, sort of like gets the flying type. It could start off as a ground type or a poison type. I don't know. If you got any suggestions, let me know. But I definitely feel that could be a three-stage evolution. So in comes Zapdos here, and yes, it is shiny, believe it or not. I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb. I went for a poison, and we got a Ancient Powering Zapdos here. So like, this is not going to faint me here, but the only thing I am worried about, if Zapdos does get a boost there, that'll be kind of bad. Now, the thing about Zapdos is it can't use any electric type moves, so I'm definitely glad about that. But if it's got any other coverage moves that are neutral, it will hit fairly hard. Now, Zapdos is going to get poisoned by the Sludge Bomb, and it's going to go for yet another Ancient Power. They're trying to get that boost on Zapdos. That is going to be the end of the Gliscor. So, unfortunately, I didn't get my mini Gliscor sweep there. It kind of failed. So, Zapdos isn't going to be hanging around for too much long there. I'm going to swap in my Gligar here. Now, this Gligar was also a one-hit KO set, and I thought, okay, I should be able to deal with this Zapdos easy, but first things first, how about I get the Sandstorm going to get the Sand Veil activated, and then I can work on the Zapdos with Guillotine. So here comes Zapdos' Ancient Power, and it does a tiny amount of damage there. Obviously, because I'm running max special defense, that does nothing, you know, with max health. Imagine if I had an Everlight attached too, that'd be even bulkier. So now Gligar, actually, you know what you could do? You just do like a little Scorpion on the ground. You take away Gligar's wings, like, you know, its wing, I don't know, like gliding things. And then you have it on the ground, so then it's sort of like, you know, kind of walking on the ground. Or, you know, its tail's behind it and it's like it's on all fours, and then you can fly afterwards. That'll work. So anyway, we're going to get hit by another Ancient Power, and Guillotine is going to miss. So I was like, I just have to land one Guillotine here, and even if I don't, the Zapdos is going to faint to the Toxic and the Sandstorm anyway, so it kind of worked out very nicely here for my Gligar. So I was like, okay, I'll go for another Guillotine. I may as well, in case Zapdos does have Roost. It's not going to go for Roost, and Guillotine is going to miss, and Zapdos is going to faint to the sand there and die to the poison. So it was handy getting that poison on the Zapdos from my Gligar. So the last Gliscor, man, I'm going to get roasted hard for this. Like, I've been messing both of them up for the whole battle. Next Pokemon is Gliscor. Say it with me, people. Gliscor. And now I can go for a one-hit KO move, right? Right? This Gliscor has a Guillotine as well. I was like, no. So I've got 3 left. I'm like, all I've got to do is land one, right? All I've got to do is land one. And my Gligar is going to get one-shotted. So I was like, that's 2 Gligars now that have been one-shotted by Guillotine. Now, my last Pokemon is Gliscor. This is a physical set. You actually haven't got to see this one. It's Metal Claw, Acrobatics, Earthquake, and Thunderfang. So I really can only go for Metal Claw and Acrobatics here. So I went for Metal Claw to try and boost my attack. It virtually did nothing. And of course, you know, the Guillotine is going to land and my Gligar is going to get one-shotted. Man, 3 of my 4 Pokemon got one-shotted by a one-hit KO move. Actually, you know what? We're going to forget that battle even happened. Welcome to battle number 2, people. This is the battle with the Gligar evolution team. You know what I'm saying there? This is the battle against lead. And we got a Volbeat lead. I can't believe my luck in that battle. It's so bad. And they also, of course, they had a Gligar and a Gliscor as well, just to rub the salt in. So first Pokemon is Volbeat. You don't get to see this Pokemon very often. Of course, it only resides in Brilliant Diamond Shiny Pearl. And I'm thinking what to do here. I'm like, maybe I can get the sub and the Landset Berry combination going. I wonder what this Volbeat is going to use. So I was thinking, if it does have Bug Buzz, that can bypass my substitute, but it's not going to do that much damage. So funnily enough, both of us actually use substitute at the start. So like, okay, that's not too bad. The Volbeat does have leftovers as well. So I was like, okay, fair enough. It must be some sort of like bulky set. Now, Volbeat is going to go for a lunge instead. I was a little bit worried about Bug Buzz, but lunge is cool. That's fine because this is my critting set. So let's say I even have my attack drop, it's not going to matter at all. So this is going to be prime real estate to go for a Substitute and a Sword Dance combination here. And then I can go for Night Slash or Cross Poison to try and break the opposing Volbeat sub. These are Volbeat. I actually really miss using Volbeat, because Volbeat with Prankster and Tail Glow was the it was an excellent baton passer for Tail Glow and stuff like that, and even like a special attacker like Boom, Prankster Tail Glow straight away +3 in special attack. So it's a very uncommon move for Pokemon to have, like outside of like Manaphy and Xurkitree and Smeargle and stuff like that. So it's an extremely good move there. I don't know why Xurkitree have that. It's like just broken. Anyway, I'm back to the battle there. Volbeat's going to go for a lunge on my Gligar, and it's not going to obviously very effective and drop my attack. Doesn't matter there because I've got critting moves. I'm not actually too worried about that. If I do come across another Pokemon, I can always go for a Substitute again to get 100% crit there. So I get a nice little crit on the opposing Volbeat. It's kind of annoying because it's got Substitute and Leftovers at the same time, but it really can't do a lot of damage to Gligar. It's going to keep trying to drop my attack and doing as much damage as it can here. So Gligar's attack has been dropped by 2 stages now. It's virtually going to get rid of my Sword Dance boost, and I actually lived that one. That's how bulky it was. So I didn't get the crit, so that actually shows you how much difference that actually made there without Sword Dance. So Volbeat's going to go for another lunge here. I was like, okay, my Lancet Berry is going to activate now. This is perfect. That's actually worked out better because now I'll get 100% crit moves on my Night Slash and my Cross Poison, which is going to be very good. So that's the end of the Volbeat. It's put me in perfect range here, which is excellent. So that's the end of Volbeat. Now, this was the theme team as well. I mean, I'm not going to ask you to guess it because it's kind of obvious. It's a Volbeat and a Loomis team. So, matter of fact, I actually don't think I've actually done a Volbeat and a Loomis team before. Like, I haven't done like... I wonder if... Wait, are these Pokemon in Gen 9 as well? I have to try and think back if these Pokemon have been... I hope they're in it because I'll do that team. I'll do like 3 Volbeats and 3 Illumis. They're pretty cool Pokemon. Anyway, Illumis is going to wreck me. These Pokemon have got really good shinies as well. If you've never seen them before, Volbeat and Illumis have fire shinies. So we're going to set the Sandstorm up here on the Illumis, and that's going to be quite good because I can actually get the Guillotine going here. And I may even actually have a couple of move dodge. So this one's got Bug Buzz, so this is a special set. And obviously it's not going to do hardly any damage to Gligar at all. Now I do have a bit of a definite advantage against this team, whereas I've got that flying type, and it struggles. These Pokemon don't really have a huge offensive move pool. They've got a lot of good support moves, but a little bit lackluster on the offensive side. So in comes Volbeat there, very nice shiny. So they both look great. You've got that nice yellow. It actually sort of looks like it's got it's got one of the... Wait, you're in an aeroplane, right? You put that cushion behind your neck. That's what it looks like. Looks like it's got one, unless it's got a toilet seat, but we'll go with the cushion, right? So it's got a track, which is really fun stuff there, and Gligar is going to get immobilized. It's actually kind of like Delcatty. Actually, no, Delcatty looks more like a toilet seat. So, of course, the Volbeat is going to go for a Tail Glow there. That's dangerous. I have to get rid of this thing too. So this has a +3 in special attack, and Gligar's going to get immobilized by Love, which is very unfortunate. Now the Gligar actually dodges the Giga Drain, which is great because that would have done a fair bit of damage there, and Guillotine lands. That was a very big turn there because I think Gligar would have... I don't know whether it would have fainted, but Giga Drain would have almost fainted or got very close right there, and it would heal itself up. So that's the end of, that's the end of both of the Volbeats. Now, Volbeat is a lot more offensive than Illumis because of the fact that it does get Tail Glow. So swapping out the Gligar into Gliscor, see, I'm getting it right now, and this is Water Pulse. I'm like, oh no, that's actually a really good move. So Gliscor takes that like horribly, and now I've got to attack this thing. So this is a special set. So I'm gonna get my my Toxic Orb happening right here. Look, I really can't swap into any other Pokemon. I've got Dark Pulse, I've got Sludge Bomb. I could use Sludge Bomb here. However, Volbeat is actually, Illumis is going to swap out here, and the other Illumis number 2 is going to swap in. So this was the shiny set. This was the, this thing was actually kind of bulky. I believe this is the bulky set. So go for Sludge Bomb there, and it does nothing. Like, this actually has quite good special defense as well. And of course, it's also got Leftovers at the same time. So it's going to get some Leftovers recovery, and then it's going to get the hit by the Sandstorm. And Gliscor is going to get healed by the Poison Heal. So there's lots of things going on here. So it's virtually like quite a stalling set with the Attract, So Gliscor is going to fall off. All I'm going to do here is, I was thinking to myself, I could actually try and get the poison and then swap into Gliscor. And then I could go for Acrobatics, because Acrobatics will be very good against this entire team, because of course they're all bug type. We were having a discussion on my stream yesterday about what type of Pokemon is the worst. Now these three come up a lot. Ice types, grass types, and bug types. So I would agree they're probably the three worst. I'd say that, I want to say that grass types would be the worst. Ice types, and then bug types. So, you know, starting with grass being the worst and going up there. What do you think? Like, what do you think is the worst Pokemon type out of all of the types we got there? Some people said normal, but, you know, with normal, I know it's not super effective against anything like that, but it's still a good type in my opinion. It's only got like one weakness, so I wouldn't definitely lump normal with those categories, but I definitely feel those ones would be the weakest, three weakest types. But let me know what you think. I'd like to see your thoughts on this as well. I'm actually trying to remember as well when I did a video based around Gligar and Gliscor last. I don't think I've done a specific video on this since, I think it might be 5th gen when I had like, I think it was a Gliscor with like, I think it was Guillotine Gliscor. I cannot think of another video I've done with, I actually don't even think I've done Pokemon sweeps of both of these two Pokemon. So this could be a topic on Gligar and Gliscor that's been done after many, many, many years, which is kind of cool. So bringing in my other Gliscor there, we're going to go for the Acrobatics on Illumis. That did excellent damage. All it's got here is Bug Buzz, so that's going to do very, very minimal damage to the Gliscor there. I can go for another Acrobatics and take this out. Now this last Gliscor set, I didn't actually get to tell you the EV spread. I ran this as Jolly Nature. I've got max speed and max attack. We got Metal Claw, Acrobatics, Earthquake, and Thunder Fang. So some good spread moves there. Look, I'd probably put Sword Dance on there instead of Metal Claw, but one of my other Pokemon already had that, so I chose to not actually put it on there. Item was Yaki Berry, because I thought, you know, they're all weak to Ice, and Hyper Cutter as the ability covering the last one. I'm going to finish off the final Loomis with Acrobatics there with a critical hit, and that is all she wrote, people. Hope you enjoyed all three of these battles with the Gligar Evolution team. I'll catch you tomorrow for another video. Peace out.